I remember looking down at my phone and realizing none of us had heard from him in over an hour. At first, it didn't feel like a big deal. Music was still blasting, people were yelling over each other, drinks were getting shoved into hands every 5 seconds, but something about it didn't sit right with me. I tried calling him again, straight to voicemail. That's when it stopped feeling like a normal night. It was spring break 2018. We were all seniors, riding that weird line between "this is the last time we'll ever do this" and "we're still invincible." There were 8 of us total, all from the same college, and we'd rented this big, slightly run-down Airbnb in Miami Beach. Nothing fancy, but it was walking distance from the clubs, which was really all we cared about. The whole week had been exactly what you'd expect. Late nights, cheap drinks, sleeping through half the day, then doing it all again. Loud, chaotic, but harmless. Or at least, it felt that way. The main person in this story isn't me. It's my friend Arjun. Arjun was a lot. In the best way, most of the time. He was the kind of guy who could walk into any room and somehow know half the people there within 10 minutes. Super social, always joking, always pushing things just a little further than everyone else was comfortable with. He had this confidence that made everything feel like it would work out, which was great until it wasn't. The problem was, Arjun didn't really believe bad things could happen to him. Not in a serious way. He treated risks like they were part of the experience, and that week, he was definitely in his element. By the 4th night, we were all kind of running on fumes, but still forcing it. You know that feeling where you're exhausted, but the idea of missing out feels worse than being tired? That was the vibe. We ended up at this massive nightclub downtown. I don't even remember the name, just that it was packed wall to wall, lights everywhere, music so loud you could feel it in your chest. The kind of place where you lose your friends every 5 minutes and just assume you'll find them again eventually. At some point, Arjun leaned over to me and said, "I'm gonna go grab something stronger. This isn't doing anything." I knew exactly what he meant. I shook my head immediately. "Dude, don't. We don't know anyone here." He laughed it off. "Relax, man. It's Miami. Everyone knows someone." A couple of the others heard and jumped in too. Same reaction. Same warnings. He put his hands up like, all right, I hear you." But I could tell he wasn't actually dropping it. That should have been the moment I stuck with him. Just kept him in sight. But it's hard to explain how easy it is to lose track of someone in a place like that. 1 second he was there. The next, he wasn't. And at the time, it didn't feel unusual. Arjun disappearing into a crowd was just Arjun. The night kept going. Drinks, dancing, shouting over the music. Every once in a while, I'd glance around, expecting to spot him, but I didn't. After maybe 30 or 40 minutes, I pulled out my phone and texted him. No response. I called. It rang once, then went to voicemail. That's when that same uneasy feeling from earlier came back, but stronger this time. I found the rest of the group. "Has anyone seen Arjun?" A couple of them shrugged. One guy said, "I thought he was with you." We all tried calling him. Same result every time. Straight to voicemail, and Arjun never let his phone die. He was obsessive about that kind of stuff. Portable charger, always checking battery. He was weirdly organized for someone so chaotic. The energy shifted fast after that. It wasn't a party anymore. We started moving through the club, actually looking, pushing through crowds, checking near the bar, the bathrooms, even outside near the smoking area. Nothing. I remember one of my friends saying, half joking, he probably went home with someone, but no one laughed. After another 20 minutes, we made the call to leave. It didn't feel good, but we figured if he had left, he'd be back at the Airbnb. Getting out of that place was chaos. People everywhere, all trying to get rides at the same time. We walked a couple blocks to get away from the crowd and started calling Ubers. It was around 2 a.m. By then, the streets were still busy, but not like the club, and that's when we saw him. At first, I didn't even recognize him, just this guy, walking unevenly toward us from down the street. Then he got closer, and my stomach dropped. His shirt was gone, like, completely gone, just hanging in pieces from one shoulder. His face looked wrong, swollen, one eye half shut. He was limping, dragging one leg slightly. "Arjun!" We ran over to him. He didn't even react at first, just kind of blinked like he was trying to focus. "What happened?" someone asked. He shook his head slowly. I'm good. Let's just go." He kept saying he'd explain later, just kept repeating it. We got him into the car. The whole ride back, no one really talked. Every now and then, someone would ask again, "Bro, what happened?" And he'd just say, "I'll tell you at the house." When we finally got back, we sat him down in the living room. Someone handed him water. Another guy grabbed a first aid kit. There was this weird silence for a minute. Then I said, "All right, what the hell happened?" He took a breath, like he was trying to decide how much to say. "I found a guy in the club," he started. Of course he did. He said it was this older guy, not dressed like everyone else, just standing near the edge of the crowd. There was another guy with him, younger, who spoke better English. Arjun told them what he was looking for. The younger guy did most of the talking, said they could help, but not inside. Right there, he said something felt off. Not obvious, just off. The way the younger guy kept answering for the other one. The way they were watching him more than talking to him. But then, they showed him a small sample, and that was it. His judgment just dropped. "They told me to come outside," he said. "Just for a minute." He followed them out a side exit. Not the main entrance, a quieter door that led to a darker street. There was a car already waiting. "I didn't even think," he said. "I thought we were just stepping over there." The second they got close, everything changed. Hands on him. Fast. They pushed him into the back seat, one on each side. The doors slammed. The car started moving immediately. "They went through my pockets right away," he said. "Phone, wallet, everything." He tried to fight it. Of course he did. That's when they hit him. Not once. Repeatedly. Enough to make him stop. He said the driver kept glancing back, saying something in Spanish. The other two were arguing, going back and forth. He couldn't understand most of it, except one thing. At some point, one of them asked, in broken English, "Why are there so many Americans here?" And Arjun, barely thinking, just answered honestly, "Spring break. There's like a ton of us. Same house. Same area." He said the car went quiet for a second after that. Then the two guys started talking rapidly in Spanish, not arguing anymore, just deciding something. A few minutes later, the car slowed down. The door opened, and they shoved him out, just like that. "They didn't say anything," he said, "just pushed me out and drove off." He landed hard on the pavement. Took him a second to even process that he was out. He had no idea where he was. No phone, no money, no landmarks he recognized, just a random street. "I just started walking," he said. "I picked a direction and went." He doesn't know how long he walked. Maybe 30 minutes. Maybe more. Eventually, he recognized a building, then another, and somehow, by pure luck, he ended up heading back toward where we were. And then he saw us, sitting there, waiting for a ride. If we had left 5 minutes earlier, we would have missed him. If he had walked the other direction, we might not have found him at all. No one said it out loud, but we were all thinking the same thing. That could have gone so much worse. We didn't call the police. Honestly, it didn't even feel like an option at the moment. We just stayed in that night, cleaned him up as best we could. The rest of the trip was different, quieter, be more careful. We still went out, but nothing felt as carefree anymore. And the weirdest part? Most of the people in the house never found out what happened. To them, it was just another spring break. But every once in a while, I think about that night, about how fast it shifted, how one small decision turned into something completely out of control, and how close we probably came to a very different ending.